Minor glitch back in with continuing coverage of the Wisconsin High School Bowling Club State Championships, the singles finals round here. Jesse Nelson of ESPN Wisconsin, along with Liz Johnson, PWBA Hall of Famer, tour pro, and we're watching a couple of great matchups here in our finals round. Again, 2-seed versus 1-seed in our stepladder final for both competitions. The 2-seed Morgan Eidsor from Kenosha-Tremper taking on the number 1-seed Bristol Beyer of Manawa in the girls' championship match, and then Hunter Lawless of Portage taking on Hunter Greifenhagen, the number 1 seed of Wisconsin Dells. Hunter Greifenhagen with a cumulative score of 14.05 to lead all competitors over the 6 games of this singles competition. That included a 725 on Friday night, Liz. 725 on Friday night, 680 on Saturday. And all he needs to do is one more time, 10 frames. Either you win a championship or you finish in second. Interesting, the boys' competition is a battle of seniors. Both Hunters seniors at their respective schools. No senior in the girls' final. It is Morgan Eidsor, a junior, and Bristol Beyer of Manawa, just a sophomore, competing here in the championship match. Bristol with a difficult spare here on lane 8. Morgan with a single pin open in the second frame, as you can see on your scoreboard on the top of the screen here momentarily, as you first see Hunter Lawless pick up a big shot there. The spare for Bristol missed everything.
Hunter Lawless looked like he made a little adjustment after that split on the shot before on that lane. I don't know if he made a ball change or just moved a little bit.
Yeah, we saw a 9 count, 7 count through the first 3 frames. He's now converted back-to-back strikes. Meanwhile, it's 3 in a row for Hunter Greifenhagen of Wisconsin Dells. Chalet Lanes, his home center. Shout out to them. Cheering on Hunter Greifenhagen, senior at Wisconsin Dells High School.
Good shot by Bristol here, leaving a 10-pin.
Again, Bristol Beyer, just a sophomore from Manawa, as Greifenhagen converts 4 in a row now as he gets into the 6th frame.
4 in a row, and he takes a 35-pin lead after 5.5 frames.
Single pin spare, good for Bristol Beyer, and that's a big spare coming off of the miss on the other lane.
Yeah. That's a good little comeback.
Now let's see if Morgan Eidsor can get a strike here on her first ball of the 5th frame. That would definitely get her right back into this thing. Would actually give her a slight advantage.
There's still a lot of frames to go. There's only after 4 frames, only down 3 pins, so anything can happen.
That was something. That was a trip for everybody here on lane 6 and Hunter Lawless.
Oh,
as Morgan Eidsor.
That was a stone 7. That was a great shot.
Oh, wow. Shot. You heard from the crowd all around us. That was such a good shot to leave a single pin 7. Meanwhile, Hunter Lawless over on lane 6. We had to make a score correction. It counted it as 9 pins because the one shifted over so far. So he's got 2 still to get. He gets them both. Spare nonetheless coming off a strike. Would have been the same either way. Morgan Eidsor, lane 8, single pin spare.
Hang on here.
Oh, no. That was an opportunity for Morgan to get right back into it here with Bristol and actually take a lead. And instead, Bristol clinging to what are we going to call that, a 5-pin advantage plus as we get set for the 6th frame. Hunter Lawless, 7th frame, lane 5. Light. And a difficult split. Morgan Eidsor, frame 6, lane 7. That's a strike.
Great shot. That was a great comeback by Morgan. It's only down 15 pins right now. It's still got 4 frames to go for her.
The pattern here this morning for the singles competition is the beaten path. We've seen the line that's working for most of the bowlers tends to be inside, not a lot of major movement. That's what Kyle Hintz threw when he had his 300 game in the second match for the boys. Yeah. It seems to be that kind of style that's working.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be right around 2nd, 3rd arrow, and a lot of friction to the right.
As we saw just there with Bristol Beyer of Manawa. Now, well, returning the favor, Hunter Greifenhagen to Hunter Lawless, a 5 count.
Yeah.
I
Big
believe.
washout here on a 4-bagger, so he needs to keep his count. Maybe he can convert this as well.
Memory serves correct, that is the lowest first ball count of any frame in this singles competition this morning. Can he convert the washout? Almost.
You got 4 count. This match just got very interesting, and Bristol Buyer just opened. She's got 95 in the 6th. So Morgan actually has a 1-pin lead on her with the count.
Both coaches, Manawa, Kenosha Tremper, talking with their bowlers. And 8 count for Bristol Buyer on lane 7. Meanwhile, Hunter Greifenhagen on lane 5 with a 7 count. Bristol's coach, Matt Buyer, assuming there's relation there. Jerry Schultz coaching Morgan Eidsor for Kenosha Tremper.
Good spare.
Also credit Coach Jeff Bender for Hunter Lawless for Portage, and Coach Torin Anthony for Hunter Greifenhagen of Wisconsin Dells, as Greifenhagen converts on his spare.
That's a difficult spare. You got the sleeper, 258. Never an easy spare.
Kind of a lower total here in the boys championship match. Actually, both. Maybe dealing with some of the pressure of the moment here. Making adjustments as the lane continues to break down. 9 count with a 10-pin ringing for Morgan Eidsor on 8.
That was a really good shot. She's made some really good shots on this right lane. Just can't get the carry.
And Hunter Lawless with a big strike in the 8th frame. Coming out of an open frame, that's exactly what he needed if he wants to try and get back. You got to string a few together here in the final couple of frames. And hope for a break.
Yeah, mathematically, he's not out of the woods yet.
Morgan Eidsor, 10-pin, lane 8, nailed it.
Good spare.
Pressure situation for Morgan Eidsor, and she comes up with a big spare. And take a look at those scores.
Can't get any closer than that. 1 pin with 3 frames to go, excuse me.
Meanwhile, as you see on your screen, Hunter Lawless could use a strike here to double up and try and get everything he can to work his way back into the match. Good pin action, 1 falls, not 2 though, he leaves a 10-pin. Came up a little high. Morgan Eidsor off a spare. Every pin matters here. She gets 9 and a wiggle.
Almost got the break. That left lane, I think, is definitely hooking up. It seems like it's been hooking up the last couple games.
Spare converted for Hunter Lawless. Gives him a total of 136 working on a spare as he heads into the 10th frame. And now we will see Hunter Greifenhagen, the #1 seed, try and close it out for a state championship. Morgan Eidsor, a 6-pin, goes down smoothly. Big spare for Morgan. Now, Bristol Buyer's turn. Meanwhile, Hunter Greifenhagen with a strike. That'll all but seal the championship for Hunter Greifenhagen of Wisconsin Dells. Senior going out with a bang here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. That's Bristol Buyer on lane 8 with a strike. Oh, wow. Another strike for Greifenhagen, and that will seal it mathematically.
Champion.
Your 2019 boys singles state champion, Hunter Greifenhagen of Wisconsin Dells. Congratulations to Hunter Greifenhagen. Also, congratulations to Hunter Lawless on a 2nd place finish. Meanwhile, the girls' competition is down to the wire. Bristol Buyer with back-to-back strikes in the 8th and 9th.
That was a very good shot by Bristol. Looked like she made a little, maybe made a little move to in the inside. Just got the ball right.
And now Morgan Eidsor needs to strike. Dead even at 115 through 7 frames. 2 strikes for Bristol Beyer. Now Morgan Eidsor delivers, directing the ball down the lane, and it leaves a split. 2:19 finish for Hunter Greifenhagen, the state champion for the boys. And I think the girls' competition was all but sealed with this split.
Yeah.
We see a little chuckle here from Hunter Lawless saying, oh, what am I going to do? I'm already mathematically eliminated. Like, whatever, I'm going to open my final frame. Morgan Eidsor picked up 2 on that open frame in the 9th. Now 139, max 169. Trying to do the math here with a couple of strikes for Bristol Beyer heading into that final frame. 219 to 160, the final in the boys' championship. Congratulations again to Hunter Greifenhagen.
Little mixer.
Exclusively on the girls' final as Morgan Eidsor's first ball of the 10th frame is a strike. Trying to put the pressure on.
Yeah, I believe Bristol just has to stay behind the line.
Morgan with a 9 count leaves a ringing 10 pin. That was a good ball.
Morgan bowled a great game. She had a few 10 pins that could have fallen, could have went either way, and again, it could come down to the spares as well.
And now, Liz, I do want to ask you here as I get set to go down, make our closing announcements here in front of all the folks here at the center. It was a pleasure having you for the broadcast here for the singles this morning.
Thanks a lot, Jesse. Thanks for having me. I mean, this is a great weekend. Got to meet a lot of great young bowlers, a lot of parents, and we can probably see some of these kids on the tour someday.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Not at all. Thank you again, Liz, here on
Thanks
behalf of Storm for being here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley all weekend long. I want to thank our good partners at Storm. Meanwhile, with that strike, it'll seal it. Bristol Beyer, your 2019 Wisconsin High School Bowling Girls Singles State Champion. Bristol Beyer began bowling 12 years ago. And despite 2 open frames here in the championship match, she closes with 4 in a row, trying to make it 5 to seal the victory. What an impressive late run here from Bristol Beyer of Manawa. Bristol's final shot. Right there, why not close out with 5 in a row? Bristol Beyer for a grand total of 205, your girls singles state champion. A great round of applause from all the fans here. Great drama, great entertainment here this morning at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Jesse Nelson of ESPN Wisconsin, along with Tour Pro and Hall of Famer Liz Johnson. I'm going to step down now to the lanes and make our closing announcements, award our champions. This has been a ton of fun, Liz. Thanks again on behalf of Storm for being here with us this morning. We appreciate you being in attendance.
Thanks so much for having me, Jesse.
girls first. Girls first. You guys ready? All set? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a round of applause for all of our singles competitors this morning. I do want to remind you that there was scholarship money for all of our finalists this morning. $100 for fifth place, $200 for fourth, $300 for third, $400 for fourth, and $500 for, or excuse me, I got that all backwards here. $400 for second, $500 scholarship funds for our first place champions this morning. That's a total of $3,000 provided by the Wisconsin USBC Association. Let's thank them for their support of the competitors this morning. And before we get started, I do want to make a special announcement. Congratulations to Kyle Hintz of Amherst for his 300 game this morning in match number 2. Kyle will receive an extra $100 in scholarship money for that performance. All right, when I call your name, bowlers, please come on up to the approach. Meet our USBC officials here. You can get up your plaque, your medal, and we'll take your picture afterwards as well. First of all, let's get to our 5th place finish from Oshkosh West for the girls, Samantha Munch. Fourth place from Sun Prairie, Sky Farr. Third place from Hartford Union, Josie Parr. The state runner-up from Kenosha Tremper, Morgan Eidsor. And your 2019 girls singles state champion from Manawa, Bristol Beyer. Let's hear it once more for the entire field of the girls singles finalists this morning. And now on to the boys, finishing in 5th place from Waukesha South, Carter Lucas. In 4th place from Sheboygan South, Austin Treba. Third place from Amherst, Kyle Hintz. The state runner-up from Portage, Hunter Lawless. And your 2019 boys singles state champion from Wisconsin Dells, Hunter Greifenhagen. Let's get one more round of applause for all of the boys singles finalists this morning. Once again, we want to thank Storm Classic Products and Pepsi for their sponsorship of the tournament here all weekend long. You can find the recorded viewing of today's singles competition at Bullstream TV on YouTube after you get home. So go ahead and watch our broadcast after you get back as well. We're going to clear out now the girls team competitions for Divisions 1 and 2. Will continue approximately 10:30. Those are going to get started approximately 10:30. Thanks everyone for coming out to the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley this morning. Have a great day.